Tonight, gruesome new details in the Gilgo Beach murders. Serial killer suspect Rex Heuermann facing 2 new murder charges, now accused of killing a total of 6 women. Investigators discovering a disturbing document in his home, which they say was his blueprint plan to kill. Could he be linked to additional murders? In just moments, we speak with the district attorney leading that case. It was hair recovered from the victims' bodies that prosecutors used to tie Heuermann to the murders of 20-year-old Jessica Taylor and 28-year-old Sandra Costilla. Sandra's remains were found more than 30 years ago, back in 1993. That's signaling to investigators that Heuermann was killing victims much longer than previously thought. The New York architect was first charged with the murders of 4 women you see here, dubbed the Gilgo Four. Their bodies discovered along a stretch of beach on Long Island. The women, all sex workers, killed over a span of several decades. The news of Heuermann's arrest last July shocked the community, neighbors stunned with how the 60-year-old father of 2 could be tied to such gruesome crimes. It's not just the new charges coming to light, but the new documents investigators say they discovered in Heuermann's home in what they call a blueprint to the murders. Documents going into extreme detail with tasks to complete before, during, and after the killings. They include what problems he might come across, like DNA, tire marks, and bloodstains. He also allegedly had a list of things to remember, including that sound travels to get sleep before the hunt and to, hit harder, among other horrifying instructions. And this all goes back to 2011 when the first remains were found within a quarter mile of each other in Gilgo Beach. Families of the victims waiting years for answers about their loved ones. Today, Jessica Taylor's cousin holding back tears.
This year has been 21 years since she was taken from us, longer than the chance that she got to be alive. I can't express what this day means after waiting and hoping for answers.
Heuermann, of course, maintains his innocence as prosecutors continue to build their case against him. And because of all this, the top prosecutor in Suffolk County, District Attorney Ray Tierney, joins us now in studio live here on Top Story tonight. Mr. District Attorney, we appreciate you being here on such a big day for your office. First of all, talk to us about the revelation that he may have been killing women longer than you originally thought.
Yeah, as we discussed today, that's not a surprise to us. I think it's been publicly disclosed, but now
you have proof,
yes,
right?
And as the evidence and as the investigation unfolded, it became apparent to us that his activities went as far back as 1993.
We want to focus now on what you guys are calling the planning document, right? Because this is what's been so troubling, so sickening to so many people out there. Heuermann's own, quote, homework, as you called it, on serial murder. I want to put up on the screen for our viewers something so they can see part of this note. We don't want to put too much of it because it's graphic. This is something he allegedly wrote. Things to remember. Sound travels, right? Get sleep before the hunt. Too tired creates problems. Hit harder. Too many hits to take down. Consider a hit to the face or neck next time for a takedown. Talk to me about the moment when your investigators found this document.
So we had seized a lot of evidence. We were going through it. Much of it was encrypted. So we were going through it. There's a lot of false leads, a lot of dead ends. And, when we found this document, we knew right away that it was a significant document.
We have more from the document we want to show, right? Because some of this stuff is just, you can't believe he spelled this out, right? I mean, again, you guys describe it as a blueprint. This is post-event. So these, theoretically, after the murders. Destroy files, change tires, burn gloves, dispose of pics, have story set. I mean, it's almost a Cliff Notes for murder, right? When you guys found this and you discovered this, and there's a lot of misspellings, we should say. Why do you think there are things misspelled there? That kind of stood out to me. It was so strange.
I think probably because the defendant is not as intelligent as he perceives himself to be.
An architect in Manhattan?
Yes.
Tell us more. This is new to us.
No, I think he's, I think he has, I think that, he perceives himself a certain way.
Yeah.
And, his obsession, first and foremost, is this preoccupation with luring and hunting women and murdering them.
Were you guys, or have you guys yet been able to match things in that document to things he actually did to the victims?
Certainly, and again, these are allegations. We need to prove them. But with regard to Jessica Taylor, she was decapitated and her hands were removed. And the planning document specifically talks about that to hinder identification.
Can you talk to us more about sort of the discovery of the document? I know you guys went back, I don't know if it was a second or a third time, but recently you were back in the house. That's when this was uncovered?
No, we recovered it in our initial search warrant back in July of last year. And, we had about well over 400 documents and devices that we had to go through. A lot of it was encrypted. So we were painstakingly going through the software. And when you talk about something that was made in 2000, you got to get the software back from 2000. So you have to put this all together. It takes a long time. We were finally able to unencrypt this and bring it back.
Because he thought he had deleted things in some of these devices that you guys were able to recover.
Sure. This particular document was found in unallocated space, which means it had been deleted and it believed to have been, gone forever. But forensic experts can retrieve that. I'm
going to put up a book for our viewers so they can see this. It's another thing that was referenced inside the document, right? Page numbers from the book about the FBI's Mindhunter, okay? It's a used copy of the book you guys apparently found as well. What do you think he gained from studying the police methods and the FBI's methods of sort of tracking serial killers? Well,
we allege, in the planning document, there's specific page numbers and passages of the Mindhunter, which was written by an FBI serial killer hunter. And, we maintain and allege that this defendant was looking at that book not to gain insight, but to help him to better hone his craft as a hunter of women.
Is it fair to say a book like that that's out there in the public could help him?
He certainly used it as such, because what he was trying to do was he wasn't trying to use it to gain insight into, his motivations. He was trying to use it to gain insight into the methods by which law enforcement investigates and prosecutes.
There was so much information on that blueprint that you guys found. Were you surprised that he would be as careless as that when he's done all these other things, number one? And number two, have you ever seen something like this from a serial killer where they lay out the plan and how they do things? Is this a manifesto, if you will? Is this something that's common?
Well, I mean, I think he thought that he had destroyed it. He didn't. But I think it speaks to the obsessiveness and this is occupying all his time. So he's constantly sort of meticulously going through things, planning things, replanning things. So that's why a document like this was created.
Do you think he had to take notes like this as a reminder because there were gaps in time where he stopped killing and/or hunting?
Well, you can see that in the document it says next time, and then it talks about other times when things didn't work out. So it's a reminder: this worked, so let's do it. This didn't work, so let's not do it.
How many more victims do you think might be out there?
Well, We've charged him with 6 murders. There's 4 more bodies on Gilgo. We said we were going to expand the investigation. Sandra Castillo was not on Gilgo. So, we are going to continue to investigate. And once we do, we'll allow our indictments to speak for us.
There were times where one victim, and I feel, I feel bad even talking about this because it's so sensitive, but there were times where victims their remains were spread out in different parts too. What do you think the motive in that was?
I think it was to hinder identification. So, in other words, the body is found in one place, but the head and the hands are found in another place, and whatever identification marks, like tattoos, those are obliterated. Again, this is an attempt to obscure and inhibit the ability.
And he was dumping all along Long Island, from what it looks like, right? Because he was going as far east as Southampton now.
So we have bodies on Gilgo Beach. We have bodies in Southampton, as well as at the end of the expressway, Manorville.
Is he cooperating in any manner?
Well, he's pled not guilty. These are allegations, and we look forward to proving him. But the case has taken a litigation posture.
And then finally, you guys were back at the house, as I mentioned. Do you think you'll keep going back? Or do you think you guys are done with the house for right now?
Well, we'll go where the investigation takes us. And we discovered this document in March. And this, along with other results of the investigation caused us to go back into that house.
Ray, for people who may not follow this case as closely as we do here on Top Story, remind the viewers, why did your office, why did your police departments, your investigators, why were they able to crack open this case when it had been cold for so long?
Well, I think we came together as a task force. There were a number of agencies working together, FBI, Suffolk County Police, my office, to name a few. And what we were able to do was, use DNA evidence, phone evidence, and basically through a lot of information, we were sort of piece it together using all of these various different pieces of evidence.
Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney, we thank you for joining us here on Top Story.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.